Connor Gregoire back now with Preston Barclay to break down the Dayton region in the women's bracket. Tennessee is the #1 seed. Preston, how do you see the top two contenders maybe beating the Elite Eight in this part of the bracket?
Yeah, well, in the Dayton region, I really see three contenders. Obviously, we have Tennessee as the #1 overall seed in this region. But we also have #2 seed Notre Dame, #3 seed Miami of Florida. And those two, if seeds hold, they would face off in the Sweet 16. I think that would be a real battle if we get that matchup. Ultimately, I'd see Notre Dame winning that game and actually beating Tennessee in the round after that. I really like Notre Dame's balance and the difficult schedule they've played this year. I think they're ready to take that next step to the Final Four.
All right, we're going to go to the projector now and see how things shake out.
The host of the region, #1 seed Tennessee, in their first matchup against Stetson, I expect no problems. An easy victory there. An interesting 8-9 matchup between two big power conference schools. I like Marquette in this one. They're a top 25 team, played tough in the Big East, while Texas had a losing record in the Big 12. Now an interesting 5-12 matchup here between Georgia Tech and Bowling Green. Bowling Green, an impressive record at 28-4. This is a game usually I typically like to take a flyer on a 12 seed, and I think this is a good spot to take it. They're used to winning, so I'll advance Bowling Green to the second round. In the 4-13 matchup, we have Ohio State and UCF. Ohio State is a perennial power, usually in the top 10. At a down year this year, but their experience as a program, I like them moving on to the next round. In the top of the Dayton region, I like Tennessee and Ohio State to advance for similar reasons. Tennessee Marquette, that's going to be an interesting game. Marquette's a pesky club, but in the end I think Tennessee has too much power, too many skilled players all across the roster, so I like Tennessee to move on to the Sweet 16, where I think they'll play the 4 seed Ohio State. I don't think Bowling Green will be too much of a challenge. They're an experienced club, so I like to see Tennessee and Ohio State duke it out. In that matchup, I think Tennessee will move on to the Elite Eight. They just have too much, and the experienced Pat Summitt on coaching the squad. Now, as we continue to move down the bracket, we head to Charlottesville, Virginia, which is actually close to George Mason, which I believe will favor them in their 6-11 matchup against Oklahoma. Oklahoma's struggled in their last 12, going 5-7. So I think James Madison is going to advance in this one. Miami's in the 3-14. Miami and Gardner-Webb. I expect Miami to have no problems here. They're a high-scoring, exciting team. Beat our own Lady Hoyas in overtime early in the season, so I expect them to move on quite handily. In the Arizona State-Temple matchup, I like Arizona State. They play in a tougher conference and have some nice victories on the season. And in the 2-15 between Notre Dame and Utah, this isn't going to be a contest. Notre Dame's an experienced club. I like them to make a run and start right here. In the second round, I like in between 11 James Madison and Miami. I just think Miami has too much. They'll overpower James Madison to move to the Sweet 16, where I believe they will play Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame will walk through this game, even though it's a 2-7. Usually it's a pretty good game. Notre Dame's a tough ball club, and they're poised to make a run this year. Now here's an interesting matchup between Miami and Notre Dame in the Elite Eight. I think Notre Dame will pull it out in the end. They have too many weapons, all-around great club, play a lot of quality opponents in the Big East, so I like to see them move to the Elite Eight. In the regional final, it's truly a clash of titans here between Tennessee and Notre Dame. I actually like Notre Dame to pull off the upset here. Notre Dame played a rigorous schedule in the Big East and have quite a few wins, even with as many losses on the year as they did. They were in the top 10 all year, while Tennessee's schedule and the SEC wasn't as tough. With that said, the game itself would be certainly a battle, but in the end I like Notre Dame to outgrind the competition and advance to the Final Four.